From the moment I took my first breath, I knew that I was meant for something far greater than just living a simple life.
Businesswoman Janet Lim Napoles, the alleged mastermind in the multi-billion peso pork barrel scam.
Meron ka bang kilalang personal, yung parang kaibigan mo na?
I invoke my rights.
Yung lang kausap mo, invoke my rights.
Kasi syempre hindi naman kasya sa kanyang bolt. So ilalagay po namin yung ibang, may mga bags na nilalagay namin sometimes sa bathtub.
I have nothing to do with this scam.
I am not a thief, and I can repeat it, wala po akong kasalanan.
A group of patriots and legal experts came to me asking for my leadership. They asked me to lead the fight on the pork barrel system in the Supreme Court. In a fight that seemed impossible. In what became a David versus Goliath victory, the Supreme Court ruled that the pork barrel system unconstitutional in all its forms. The victory in the Supreme Court was sweet, but the war was far from over.
Wala itong ginawa kung hindi mag-expose ng anomalya sa gobyerno.
I received an unexpected text. Congrats, PACC Commissioner. Just like that, I found myself appointed as Commissioner of the Presidential Anti-Corruption Commission. I wasted no time. We caught a DPWH district engineer on a body cam accepting 4 million pesos bribe. The next day, we exposed another district engineer in Mountain Province extorting 10 million pesos from a contractor. The PACC's work did not stop with Congress, the most corrupt branch of government. I led several high-risk entrapment operations. Was when I arrested 3 BIR officials caught extorting 75 million pesos in Makati. Another complex operation targeted a BIR chief demanding 2 million pesos. During the raid, we were ambushed by 18 armed security guards, but we stood our ground. After these arrests, I made one of my most famous and controversial statements. I have more respect for drug lords and street thieves than for corrupt government officials. In a moment of sheer resolve, he issued his ultimate mandate. You go! You go there and tell them everything you know. Expose all of them. And when you see them, slap them in the face. Son of a bitch.
Greco Bellica was born into a history of violence. His father, Bishop Butch Bellica, was once one of the most notorious juvenile gang leaders of the 1960s. Locked inside maximum security prison alongside the country's most bloodthirsty criminals. Inside those walls, he didn't just survive, he changed his life for the better, then transformed the prison, unified rival gangs, and walked a path so radically biblical that it ended in a presidential pardon from Ferdinand Marcos Sr. He would later become a minister, a statesman, and a religious advisor to another president, Rodrigo Duterte. That legacy shaped young Greco. He entered public service, became one of the youngest counselors in Manila history, and quickly learned that corruption isn't just about bad people. It's about broken systems. Then came the fight that changed Philippine history, when billions in pork barrel funds were exposed as ghost projects during the nationwide Napoles scandal. Greco led the legal charge all the way to the Supreme Court. He was threatened, ridiculed. His family was put at risk, but he didn't back down. He won in a unanimous decision. The pork barrel system was declared unconstitutional in all its forms. That victory is now known as the Belhica ruling. But he didn't stop there. Greco was later appointed commissioner and then chairman of the Presidential Anti-Corruption Commission. From the inside, he went after the most powerful agencies in government. He led entrapment operations, exposed bribery, took down officials demanding millions in kickbacks. He's been ambushed, held at gunpoint, surrounded by armed men. Not only did he refuse to kneel, he stood up and laughed in their faces. Because he's seen corruption from every angle, outside the system, inside the system, and under fire. And now he brings that insight here. This isn't theory. This is lived experience. This is Greco Bellica, and today he is proudly PGMN.
I have always been anti-norm and have challenged conventions. From the moment I took my first breath, I knew that I was meant for something far greater than just living a simple life. My father, Dr. Bishop Grepor Butch Bellica,
Ito po si Butch Bellica.
was a man whose life was defined by transformation. Once the most notorious juvenile delinquent of the 60s, a gang leader, and a key figure in the CPP-NPA inside prison, he spent years behind bars before rising to become a minister of the gospel and a statesman. His journey from prisoner to a national leader demonstrated the power of redemption and the possibility of change.
Good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Bellica from the Treatment and Rehab Center
Department of Health in Tagaytay.
On my mother's side, my grandfather, a national hero, was the only Filipino soldier to receive the U.S. Congressional Medal of Honor during World War II. This rich legacy of defiance, courage, and unyielding spirit shaped who I am today. Growing up in a Christian home, I learned early on that government wasn't just a system to be followed, it was a tool to enact real, meaningful change.
Ang lupa po ay hindi pag-aari ng gobyerno, ito po ay pag-aari ng tao dahil ito po ay galing sa Diyos sa pinahawak sa tao. So therefore, palagay ko, ang public lands pwede na ipamahagi sa lahat ng pamilya at sa mga kabataan nag-uumpisa ng kanilang buhay para sila magkaroon ng sariling lupa, pera, kapital para sila magpagmusa sa sariling buhay. Ang sobra-sobra rin pong pera at kapangyarihan inilalagay sa pamahalaan ay pwede na rin po nating bawasan at pahawak na lang po sa taong bayan para taong may pera, hindi po puro pamahalaan.
I entered politics at a young age, eager to make a difference. Becoming the youngest councilor of my batch in Manila, it was a milestone. But it quickly became clear that wielding political power in isolation wasn't enough to challenge the corruption that pervaded our institutions.
Flat tax ang kasagutan. Kung ibababa natin ang ating buwis, bababaan lahat ng presyo ng bilihin, gasolina, pamasahe at kuryente. Aasenso po tayong lahat.
After a political defeat, I redirected my efforts into tackling one of the country's most insidious crises, the proliferation of illegal drugs. I organized local government units nationwide, strengthening the anti-drug campaign.
My God, I hate drugs. Kung mamatay ka kasi galit ako sa droga, you can hold me responsible for any death that has occurred in the execution of the drug war. Pero huwag ninyo akong bintangan dyan sa patayan na hindi mo alam kung sinong pumatay.
In doing so, I forged powerful alliances with local leaders and solidified my place as someone willing to fight the toughest battles for the good of the people. But my defining moment came when the nation was rocked by the scandal of the pork barrel system, a web of corruption where billions of taxpayers' money was funneled into ghost projects, filling the pockets of unscrupulous congressmen, senators, and politicians.
After a series of exposés in what could be one of the biggest corruption scandals involving lawmakers and a number of fake non-government organizations, 3 sitting senators in 2014 were jailed for alleged plunder and graft.
The public outrage was palpable.
In the Philippines, hundreds of thousands of people marched to a national park on Monday to protest what they call a legalized system of corruption. Filipinos called on President Benigno Aquino to abolish billions of dollars of discretionary funds allocated for lawmakers and his own office each year.
Nandito po kami para ibasura. Ayaw ko na. Ayaw na ng mga kasamahan namin, mga siklista. Ayaw na ng mga kapitbahay ko. Ayaw na ng mga kaibigan ko ng pork barrel system na yan.
And a group of patriots and legal experts came to me asking for my leadership in a fight that seemed impossible. They asked me to lead the fight on the pork barrel system in the Supreme Court. I was ridiculed, I was threatened, my family's safety was put at risk, but there was no turning back. I led the charge, taking on the country's most entrenched corruption head-on. And against all odds, we won unanimously.
Ako po si Greco Belhica ang nagpatanggal ng pork barrel at DAP sa Supreme Court. There are more corrupt officials now than there were before. And it is because of the pork barrel system.
He's a pastor, but people say he could have been an actor.
Kung gusto po nating magbago, uunahin nating alisin yung mga taong magnanakaw.
In what became a David versus Goliath victory, the Supreme Court ruled that the pork barrel system unconstitutional in all its forms. The victory, the Belhica ruling, was a landmark moment in Philippine law, etched forever in history.
Narinig niyo na po siguro ang pasya ng Korte Suprema, TODAS, ang PDAF, ang pork barrel, ang CDF o ano man ang tawag dyan, at pati po yung mga tinatawag na congressional insertion na ginagawa po ng mga mamabatas tuwing nasa proseso ng pagpapatibay ng ating pong taunang budget.
It proved that even in a system as deeply corrupt as ours, justice could still prevail. The victory in the Supreme Court was sweet, but the war was far from over. In 2016, I joined President Duterte's senatorial slate, motivated by his promise to clean up government and fight drugs.
During my inauguration last 2016, I said that the fight against criminality and illegal drugs and corruption will be relentless and sustained. And that is why I call on the Philippine National Police, the barangay chairman, the mayors and governors, are all those occupying seats of power and authority not to lower their guard. We will not stop until the last drug lord, the last financier, and the last pusher have surrendered or put behind bars or below the ground if they so wish. To our police officers and other officials, do your job and you will have the unwavering support of the office of the President. I will be with you all the way. Abuse your authority and there will be a hell to pay.
Although Duterte emerged victorious in the presidential race, I lost my bid for the Senate. But fate had other plans. A year later, I received an unexpected text. Congrats, PACC Commissioner. Just like that, I found myself appointed as Commissioner of the Presidential Anti-Corruption Commission. Thrust into the very government I had spent years challenging.
May prinsipyo to. Wala itong ginawa kung hindi mag-expose ng anomalya sa gobyerno.
At first, the irony wasn't lost on me. I was now an insider in the government I had fought against for so long. But I saw this as an opportunity, a chance to continue my fight from the inside to be the change I had always wanted to see. I wasted no time. My first act was to initiate a lifestyle check on all government officials.
Presidential Anti-Corruption Commission Commissioner Greco Belgica went to the PCSO main office earlier today to secure a copy of the Statement of Assets, Liabilities, and Net Worth or SALN of 14 high-ranking PCSO officials.
Sa salin po kasi, pag meron kang ill-gotten wealth or unexplained wealth, grounds na yun for sibakin ka na nun Ending po nito is filing of administrative charges sa kanila, sa President, sa ating Pangulo, yung Pangulo Duterte, and filing of criminal charges against them in the Ombudsman.
Corruption was rampant in the DPWH, the Bureau of Customs, and the Bureau of Internal Revenues, or BIR. These agencies were the arteries through which public funds flowed, but they were also the breeding grounds for corruption. But the true battleground was Congress, the most corrupt branch of government. I did not hesitate to declare that we were at war, not just against the officials, but against the systems that protected them. Within a month, the PACC was operational, and the crackdown was swift. We caught a DPWH district engineer on a body cam accepting 4 million pesos bribe. He was immediately removed from office, and cases was filed against him.
Pasunan natin sa katawan. Parang hindi yung ginagawa ng mga Meron pa. 3 milyon pa lang.
The next day, we exposed another district engineer in Mountain Province extorting 10 million pesos from a contractor for a local congressman.
Humihingi sa kanya si Engineer Lorna Ricardo ng 10 million pesos o 10% ng halaga ng pondo ng Lagawi-Cabapong Hall Road Project sa probinsya ng Ifugao. Bukod diyan, nagre-request sinumano si Ricardo ng parte nito sa mobilization fund, progress billing, processing fee, material testing at vehicle rental ng project engineer mula sa DPWH. Ito umano ay bilang pambayad or reimbursement fee na binayaran ng isa sa mga bidder sa DBM para mailabas ang pondo ng sabing road project.
She too was ousted with the full force of the law behind us. To make my stance clear, I summoned all DPWH officials to a mass meeting and delivered an unforgettable message. Not in my watch. Do not make the mistake of getting into corruption again. Because if you do, we will make a parade out of you. We will send you to jail. After that meeting, corruption complaints within the DPWH plummeted, and the government's Build program began to gain momentum, unburdened by the usual red tape and corruption. But the real battle had always been with Congress. The corruption within the legislature wasn't just about individual wrongdoers, it was systemic. Congressmen controlled district engineer appointments, essentially running a network of corruption that funneled kickbacks from every project. I publicly named them as the root of the problem, and the backlash was immediate. Congress demanded that I name names. I refused because only the president, not the PACC, was authorized to expose our case while being investigated. Then, after months of tension, the president called on me to present the corruption report. That night, he read the names of 9 congressmen and 14 district engineers involved in corruption, exposing them on national television.
Congressman Josephine Ramirez Sato of Occidental Mindoro, alleged ghost projects in the district. Secretary Mark issued an order for the transfer of said district engineer, but until now, it has not been implemented due to the intervention of Congressman Sato. Former Congressman Teodoro Teddy Baguila Jr., Ifugao, Lone District, allegedly receiving kickbacks from contractors for construction projects. Former District Engineer Lorna Ricardo has been removed from her post due to the expose made by Commissioner Greco Bellica.
The fallout was explosive. The congressmen launched an inquiry into my actions, but I stood firm. The threats against me became personal, but I was unwavering. In a private meeting with the president, he smiled at me and gave me a 2 thumbs up. You are doing great. Those sons of bitches. Who else are corrupt?
Thank you for what you are planning to do, and thank you for what you did. You were doing well as a PACC chairman, and I'm sure that as senator, you will do as equally good.
And then in a moment of sheer resolve, he issued his ultimate mandate. You go. You go there and tell them everything you know. Expose all of them. And when you see them, slap them in the face. Son of a bitch.
Tarantado po lang. Sabihin sa kanila, fuck you. I repeat it, fuck you. Ulol na putang ina nila, putang ina ninyo. Gago ka ma. Letse ka.
The PACC's work did not stop with Congress. I led several high-risk entrapment operations to expose the worst offenders. One of the most high-stakes operations was when I arrested 3 BIR officials caught extorting 75 million pesos in Makati.
Inireklamo ang 2 tauhan ng BIR ng isang telecom company na nangungutong umano ng 160 million pesos o 10% ng tax deficiency umano nito na 1.6 billion pesos. Pero giit ng telecom company, bayad na ang kanilang obligasyon sa buwis. Nakipagtawaran pa sila at naareglo sa 75 billion pesos ang halaga.
Another complex operation targeted a BIR chief demanding 2 million pesos. During the raid, we were ambushed by 18 armed security guards, but we stood our ground, disarming them at gunpoint to ensure that the arrest was carried out. After these arrests, I made one of my most famous and controversial statements. I have more respect for drug lords and street thieves than for corrupt government officials. The reason was simple. Criminals, at least, take risks, and they accept their fate. But corrupt officials sit behind desks, raking wealth with impunity. When political connections caused the police to drop the case against the BIR suspects, I took matters into my own hands, calling up the general and demanding for accountability, or the report will reach the president immediately. The entire police unit involved was relieved. Later, I was appointed chairman of the PACC, and I launched Project Kasangga, an initiative challenging all government officials to sign a manifesto pledging voluntary resignation if caught in corruption. The president endorsed the project, and all government officials signed the document.
I joined the Presidential Anti-Corruption Commission as it launches Project Kasangga to laban sa corruption. Let me express my full support for this project, which is consistent with my administration's goal of ensuring transparency and accountability in government.
I firmly believe that if the PACC had not been disbanded by the succeeding administration, many of the scandals that followed would never have happened. The fight against corruption is far from over, but the path forward is clear. We must continue to strengthen our institutions, dismantle corrupt systems, and remove the officials who perpetuate these networks of greed. But it is not enough to just remove the bad actors. We need to reform systems that enable them to thrive. It is time for the Filipino people to be empowered to demand transparency and accountability from their leaders. We need laws that close the loopholes, and we need a government that is truly accountable to the people. This battle can't be won by one man. It has to be a collective effort. The country deserves better. The people deserves better. And it is up to all of us to ensure that we don't just talk about change, but that we fight for it every single day. We will fight not just for the future of our children, but for the future of this nation. The change we want is in our hands. And I will not rest until we've seen it through. Because if there's one thing my journey has proven is that God uses the weak things of this world to confound the mighty and the base things of this world to confound the wise. The fight doesn't end when the operations stop or when the headlines fade. It continues in the everyday decisions we make as a nation. The years I spent fighting corruption inside and outside the PACC opened my eyes to one truth that cannot be ignored. Corruption weakens the country only when accountability is optional. The moment that transparency and accountability becomes consistent and non-negotiable, the system begins to shift. If we want to fix corruption today, we need to limit government powers and create institutions that cannot be bent by politics, leaders who choose service over self-interest, and citizens who refuse to normalize wrongdoing. We must protect honest workers, punish those who betray public trust, and demand transparency from every office that exists to serve the Filipino people. That is how we build a government people can finally rely on. Above all, integrity must become the standard we live by, not just in public office, but in everyday life. Integrity determines whether this nation rises or collapses. I've seen how powerful honesty becomes when it is defended, and how quickly corruption crumbles when it is exposed. The Philippines has the potential to thrive, to grow, and to finally break free from the chains that have held it back for decades. We only need the courage to keep fighting for what is right. And as long as I am alive, I will continue this fight for my family, for our children, and for a Philippines that stands tall because its people chose truth over fear and action over silence. This is Greco Belgica. Proudly, PGMN.
Kami ang boses ng masa, hindi natatakot. Katotohanan lang, di kami nalulunod. Walang bahid ng sismis, lahat ay totoo. Kahit sino ka pa, pag mali ka babanatan ka. Walang pinipili kulay, wala kaming kinikilingan. Basta para sa bayan, kami lalaban. Pag tama palakpakan, pag mali banatan, di matitinag, di matatakot. Para sa bayan, tuloy ang sigaw. Sa harap ng kamera, walang halong takot. Mga baluktot, lahat kayo'y tutumba. Ang hustisya at totoo, yun lang ang mahalaga. Kahit sinong harang, di kami matitinag. Walang pinipiling kulay, wala kaming kinikilingan. Basta para sa bayan, kami lalaban. Pag tama palakpakan, pag mali banatan, di matitinag, di matatakot. Para sa bayan, tuloy ang sigaw. Kung nasa tama ka, ikaw ay aming kasama. Pero pag mali ka, handa ka na bang mabasag? Banateros kami, walang inuurungan. Dahil bayan muna, bago ang sarili.